Hey folks, I'm Jason Wright, the host of The Jason Wright Show, and I want to show you how I used the BJ Fogg behavioral model to get to the point where I could do 100 pull-ups per day. All right, here we go. So first of all, I want to explain the model to you because I think it's absolute money. And here's the thing that you got to understand about the Fogg behavioral model. It applies to every single behavior you want to develop. If you want to quit doing something that you're doing, it applies. If you want to increase the likelihood of doing something that you really want to, that you're really aspiring to do on a regular basis, it works. It doesn't matter. All the concepts are the same. So watch this. All right, so what I wanted to do was 100 pull-ups per day. All right. So what I decided to do was map this on the behavioral model. And as you can see, it says MAP. This is an acronym for motivation, ability, and prompt. These are the three key ingredients for developing any behavior that you're trying to develop. In this case, 100 pull-ups per day. All right, so first, let me explain the actual model to you. And I went ahead and drew some of it in because if I start drawing on a whiteboard while I'm doing the video, it gets really messy really quick. So I hope that's okay. All right, so first of all, on this vertical axis, this represents our motivation. How motivated are we to do this? Well, as it related to me doing 100 pull-ups per day, I was really motivated, and here is why. Pull-ups are one of those things that whenever I first started doing them, I could do like one or two. It was ugly, and I thought, my God, I will never be able to do more than like 3 pull-ups. I just don't see how that's possible. Then I kept working at it and working at it to where I could do a significant amount. But here's the thing. As I grow older, I'm 47 now, there's a few things I want to make sure that I'm able to do long into my old age. One of them is pull-ups, just because one, I always have the workout equipment with me no matter where I am, because all it is my body. 2, if I'm doing a pull-up, that's exercising so much upper body strength that I just think it's kind of money. I just think that is one of the money moves that you can do from now on. So it was real important to me for longevity. And 3, I think it just hits all the muscles that I want to hit. So my motivation, as I related, it was pretty high. It was like up here. So then I had to ask myself, well, 100 pull-ups a day, is that hard as far as the ability? Is it hard or is it easy? For me, it was hard. Not just the sheer doing 100 pull-ups, and I cannot and still can't and don't plan to be able to do 100 pull-ups in all at once anytime soon, but just getting in 100 pull-ups. Whenever I first started trying to do this without mapping this, I was getting nowhere. There was no way this was ever going to become a regular part of my daily behavior. What I would do is I would think to myself, okay, and I had a basic understanding of prompts and how to develop habits and that sort of thing. And so I thought, okay, since my chin-up bar is in my garage, every time I go to get in my car, I will go knock out at least 3 pull-ups. I keep a whiteboard on my wall in my garage for my workouts, and I'll just keep a tally every day. Well, guess what? That didn't work. First of all, the prompt wasn't good enough of getting in my car, apparently. It was just too hard, and I just gave up quickly. The behavior did not stick. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try this again, and I'm going to apply the BJ Fogg behavioral model to see if I can actually get this to stick. So I looked at it. My motivation was high. My ability, it was hard. So and I probably put it somewhere around, as far as ability, right here. It was close to hard. It wasn't over here really hard, like, oh my God, there's no way I can do this. So here's the thing. My motivation was above the action line. Now this is where you really got to pay attention and where you got to really be honest with yourself, because wherever this falls, look, here's the thing too, just to let you know. Well, let me just keep going, getting ahead of myself. As far as ability, look at this. You may see this and go, ah, well, Jason, I see why you did this. It's above the action line, so therefore you must have the ability to make this a behavior. That's not true. Think of it like this. If I'm this far from the sweet spot, which this is the sweet spot, because here's what we want. We want the behavior that we're trying to develop to be highly motivated and easy. Okay? If that's the case, it's right there. That's how you make it a behavior that will be sustainable. If it's over here and it's hard, but I can get it done because I'm highly motivated, I'll do that one time. That's like the mother lifting the car up to save her baby. She's very, very motivated, and she has the ability to do it one time. But is she going to be able to do it over and over and over? Probably not. And that's what we find ourselves doing a lot. This right here, this I think is where most people fail. They think just because I'm highly motivated, think January 1st, I have the ability, I've got a gym membership, all these things, I've got the ability. So, I mean, it's hard, but it's not so hard I can't do it. I'm going to do this. Well, if you fall in this range, bing, ding, 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 a red light should go off. This is not going to become a habit. So what do? Well, in my case, I had to move this dot over here to make it easier so that I could then get to here. That's where I was tracking. So how do I make it easier? Well, I thought 100 pull-ups. What is the least amount of pull-ups I can do at one time and really not feel any pain? And for me, that was 4 pull-ups. I can go out right now on any day, morning, night, doesn't matter, rep out 4 pull-ups and I don't really feel it. So that was my magic number. And I tested this. I tested 5, 6, 10. 10 was way too many, 11, and 4 is the magic number. 3 is too few. Well, I mean, it's not necessarily too few, but I mean, look, we need efficiency here. So what's the maximum I can get with the least input, right? That 80-20 thing. So 4 is my magic number. So then I thought, what about rest? How much rest can I get away with? I need enough rest to fully recover to make sure that I'm going to keep doing them, but not too much so that I get, wasting time. So for me, it was 1 minute. And I'll tell you where I got this. When David Goggins set the 24-hour record for most pull-ups in a 24-hour period, I think, and whether it's true or not, it was stuck in my brain, I think he was doing 4 pull-ups every minute for 24 hours. He might have been doing 5, I can't remember. It was somewhere in that range. So I thought, okay, well, a minute rest for a pull-up marathon like that obviously David Goggins is unbelievable and he's an endurance athlete. If that's what he came up with, that's what I'll try. And that turned out to be perfect for me. So now the physical side of it, I had handled. I can do 4 pull-ups, rest a minute, do 4 more, rest a minute. I can do that for a long time. But then I had to figure out what was going to prompt me to make sure that I did it every time I was supposed to. Well, that had been the biggest killer beforehand. Whenever I tried to do this before, I didn't have a really good solid prompt. Well, what I did is I looked at my daily habits, and this is something that makes this model very, very impactful. If you will go and assess all the things you do in a day, and then find out what the prompts for those habits are, and then make those habits prompts for new behaviors, it's magical. So here's what I did. Every morning I go for about a 2-mile walk. And so I thought, well, what if at the end of my walk I took 5 minutes, right? 5 minutes to do 5 pull-ups. So, 20 pull-ups, because it's doing 4 pull-ups for every minute. So that would knock out 20 in 5 minutes at the end of my walk. So that's what I did. I thought, okay, that'll be a good prompt. That really helps. And then some mornings, if I've got the time, my body's not taxed, it's already warm, the prompt's like, okay, you've ended your walk, now it's time to do the pull-ups. It's real easy for me too. You gotta realize this. My environment is very, very conducive to this because I walk in my garage, my chin-up bar is staring at me, I've ended my walk. End of walk means it's time to do chin-ups, or do pull-ups, there's the pull-up bar, go do them. It's a nice way to cool down and kind of chill out and clear my head after my walk as well, because what I do is I will knock out 4 pull-ups, set my timer, hit it for a minute, and just lie down on my mat, on my garage floor. The alarm goes off or the beeper goes off, boom. 4 more pull-ups, lie down for another minute. And so that gives me 20 before the day even starts. So now I've only got a delta of 80. So then I will go back to my old routine of just throughout the day getting in the car. If I can try to get some in, fine. But even if I don't, I have another prompt. I work out every single afternoon around 4:30 in the afternoon. So I thought, okay, what if I let that be kind of my finisher? No matter what I'm doing, however many pull-ups are left, I will do those at the end of my workout. So as soon as my regular workout ends, now it's time to finish out the delta between what I did in the morning after my walk and what I have left. And that, just by having a good prompt, figuring out a time of day, splitting it into 2, breaking it into 4 pull-ups at a time where it never just crushes me. I mean, 4 pull-ups before I get in my car is not gonna, and I live in Texas, and my garage gets really hot. But 4 pull-ups for this guy that sweats like a pig, it doesn't make me sweat. It doesn't tax me. So throughout the day, it's easy, it's convenient. It's right there, it's in my garage, so is my car. It makes it really easy. So now the ability became really easy to do. Physically, I mean, that it's taxing, but it's easy to get done. And now, because I've got the right prompts in place, I've made it physically easy. My motivation is high. It's easy. And I can tell you now, it is part of my daily routine to do 100 pull-ups every single day. This works for everything. If you check back here, I'm going to do a video next on how to quit doing a thing, showing when something you're highly motivated to do it and it's really easy to do and it's a bad habit, that can be tricky. So what we do is we just look at the behavior model and we start playing with things like decrease the ability to do it, decrease the easiness of it. There are all sorts of tips and tricks that this model works for. It's absolutely fantastic. So check back for my next video on how to break a bad habit using the BJ Fogg behavioral model. And hopefully this helps you out. I know it helped me. And as a matter of fact, I think I've got 80 pull-ups left to do for the day. And as soon as I get through working out, this is how I get them done. Thanks.